Hi Avalon community, it's Mike here, and today's video is a response to something that Brian Embryonic Robot did the other day. And if you don't know Brian's channel, he's in Toronto in Canada and he shows some absolutely brilliant music, and I'll leave a link to his channel in the description of this video. Anyway, what Brian did was to show a whole load of EPs and mini albums. And I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. I could do that. And I think I got a little bit carried away. So I've got some 12-inch, some 10-inch, and quite a few 7-inch. So I'll start with the big ones, with the 12-inch vinyl. And I'll start the same way as Brian started, with a bit of Billy Bragg. And this is Life's a Riot with Spy vs. Spy. This is a mini album, runs to about 13 minutes and something. And it's Billy's debut, and it's absolutely brilliant. So what we've got on here is The Milkman of Human Kindness, To Have and To Have Not, Richard, A New England, which of course was covered by Kirsty MacColl, The Man in the Iron Mask, The Busy Girl Buys Beauty, and Lover's Town Revisited. And you can see this is on the utility label. It is. So that's the first one, Billy Bragg. Next off, some punk, and there's quite a lot of punk in this one. So we start off with Avalon Sniffers, and they're an Australian punk band from Melbourne. I absolutely love them. And this EP is a compilation, a combining of their first two single stroke EPs. So you've got on the A side, you've got the Big Attraction EP, which is I'm Not a Loser, Blowjobs, Mole, Sniff Sniff, Balaclava, Love a Boogie, Westgate and 70s Street Munchers. And then on the B side, you've got the Giddy Up EP, which is absolutely brilliant. Pleasure Forever, Caltex Cowgirl, Mandalay, and Stole My Push Bike. And there they are on the back. So, say this is a bit of punk, and in the UK, it was on the ever reliable Damaged Goods label. So that's the second one. Now a bit of sort of contemporary UK stuff. First off, a band from East London, and they're called Snaptankles. They're sort of art rock, a bit psychedelic, definitely a bit post-punk. And this is an EP of theirs that came out Record Store Day. Can't remember if, I think it was last year, it might have been the year before. And it's called Blurtations. And it's really a sort of a number of sort of remixes of previous stuff. So you've got A Lovette, Machina, Tube Plane, Slumcom, The Fish Needs a Bike, and Planet U. And they're one of my favourite live bands. These guys put a lot of effort and planning into their live shows. Absolutely brilliant. And they got a little sort of postcard that came with the this EP, and it's on the Leaf record label. And the final 12-inch is a post-punk band from Todmorden in West Yorkshire, and this is an EP of theirs from a couple of years ago. It's called the Steel City EP, and the band are called Workingmans Club. And again, really, really good live band, the Workingmans Club. So if you ever get a chance to see them, you know, snap up some tickets quickly. So you've got Money Is Mine, Fair, which was a single, I think, Ploys, Rapture, and the last one. And it's on the Heavenly record label. Another pretty reliable record label if you're looking for quality music. So there you go. So those are 4 12-inch EP stroke mini albums. And now we get on to just four, I think there's four 10-inch. Starting with the German punk band. There they are. They're called the Toilets. And this was an EP, and it was recorded live February 21st, 2015. And it's called Tape on Vinyl, the name of the EP. These guys are out of Berlin and Potsdam, I believe. And I don't have anything else by them. And, you know, if I ever see anything, I'll probably pick it up because this is a really, really good little mini album. In fact, there are 13 tracks on here, but, you know, not one of them sort of goes over sort of like a couple of minutes, really. So, yeah. So you've got Lisa, Alex, Daniel, and Jalla. The names of the, or Yalla probably, are the people in the band. And this is, say, the Toilets. And I think that's quite good in here. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Sort of fanzine-y looking, you know, there with details and lyrics, etc. That's the first of 10-inch. Second one, a band from Manchester, punk band from Manchester, who seemed to have disappeared off the face of the earth. And this is the extended play of Cruelty, and it's by the Brilliant Cabbage. And there are 5 tracks on here: Celebration of a Disease, Fraudulent Artist, A Network Betrayal, Trinken, and Asa Morley. And as I say, you know, they're really, really good punk band, but they just seem to have stopped. You know, I don't know what's happened to them. Maybe somebody else out there sort of knows, but I certainly don't. There you go. There's quite a nice label on this, and green vinyl. So that's Cabbage, punk band from Manchester. Right, a bit of sort of indie pop, lo-fi from the Netherlands, and this is Pit Blom. And Pit Blom is both the name of the band and also the name of the lead singer. And this is a EP from, can't see, anyway, the EP from a couple of years ago called Paycheck. And 4 tracks on this: The Shed, Come Home, Pussycat, and Hours. And Pit Blom tend to tour the UK quite often. So, you know, if you're in the UK, you've probably got a good chance to see them. They always put on a good show. And as I say, it's sort of, you know, pop punk, pop indie, lo-fi, pretty good stuff. Anyway, right, now then, a man who's an absolute legend, and this is Wild Billy Childish. This is Wild Billy Childish and CTMF, which is a band, and this is in the Devil's Focus, and it says 6 music sessions for Mark Riley and Gideon Coe, broadcast July 2017. And you got the normal people, CTMF people on the recording. So Billy does guitar and vocals, Juju does bass and vocals and guitar, and Wolf does drums and a bit of other percussion. So you got on here, You Gotta Lose, in the Devil's Focus, Empty, and Billy B. Childish, which was the Mark Riley part of the session. And then Gideon Coe's session included I've Done Something Rotten, Medway Troglomania, Rusty Hook, and You Destabilise Me. While Billy Childish is a bit of a polymath, he's an artist, he's a writer. And at one time, his partner was the artist Tracy Emin. And Tracy Emin, you probably know, she's an artist, she's won the Turner Prize. It's very much out there kind of art. And Billy prefers the more sort of traditional art. And apparently he was complaining about the Turner Prize. You know, it wasn't proper painting or whatever. And Tracy allegedly said, "The trouble with you, Billy, is you're stuck in the past." So he started an art movement called the Stuckists, and they regularly picket the Turner Prize. And yeah, there you go. That's the great Wild Billy Childish. Right, so that's my 10 inches. And now we're on to the really good stuff, the 7-inch singles. And I start off with an absolute cracker. TV personalities. And it's the Where's Bill Grundy Now EP. So there you go. And it's on the Kings Road Records label. Although I think this is just a reissue that came via sort of rough trade. So tracks on here are Part-Time Punks, which was quite a big sort of song for them. It's about middle-class kids on the Kings Road posing as punks, on a weekend. And then Where's Bill Grundy? And if you don't know who Bill Grundy is, he was a guy that had the misfortune to interview the Sex Pistols on London Weekend Television in I think it was late 76, so right at the beginning of punk. And what was due to happen was that Bill was going to be interviewing Freddie Mercury, which he was quite all right with. But unfortunately, Freddie had laryngitis, and he pulled at the last moment. And the Sex Pistols were brought in as a replacement. And the rest is history, really. But in case you don't know, Bill allegedly had a drink or two beforehand. He decided that he was going to take the Sex Pistols on, and he lost absolutely terribly. In the background, there were various other sort of quite famous people, including Susie and Budgie. And at one point, Bill Grundy, who's a man in his 50s, I think at the time, makes a pass at Susie, and I think it was Glenn who said called him a dirty rotter, and then a few other things. Throughout the interview, Johnny just wasn't interested. He was just looking sullen and really sort of wanted to be somewhere else. But the whole thing only lasted a couple of minutes. It was an absolute car crash for Bill Grundy, and he never worked on TV again. So there you go. So it was Punks 1, Establishment 0 that day. Right, band from Leeds. There we go. Abrasive Wheels, and this is the Vicious Circle EP. It's on the Riot City Records label from Bristol. So you've got Vicious Circle on the A side, and then Attack and Voice of Youth on the B side. And there you go. So you've got the lyrics of Vicious Circle and Attack on there. So that's a great bit of punk. I couldn't really show sort of punk EPs without showing the Buzzcocks Spiral Scratch EP. The cover of this is in almost perfect condition, and the reason being it's a reissue, not an original, unfortunately. So you've got 4 tracks on this. You've got Breakdown, Time's Up, Boredom, and Friends of Mine. And it says they're all recorded live at the Indigo Sound Studio in Manchester on the 28th of December 1976. And there you go. So, the band at the time were John Marler, Steve Diggle, Pete Shelley, and of course Harold Devoto. So that's the Buzzcocks and Spiral Scratch EP. Right, a bit of reggae, because reggae and sort of punk sort of went together in the late 70s, early 80s. And this is a British band called Capital Letters. And this is their EP called Bread and Water. And it's got Bread and Water, Do We Really Need a Government, Cheap School Mills, and Run Man Run. And this is from 1980, and it's on the UK reggae label Green Sleeves. So there you go. That's the capital letters. Right, the guy that I've shown before, absolutely love him, Patrick Fitzgerald. The EP of his that I've shown before is Safety Pin Stuck in My Heart, which is one of my absolutely favourite sort of punk tunes, even though it's actually very folky. So anyway, this is Backstreet Boys, and it's on the great sort of Small Wonder record label. So you've got on here, you've got Buy Me, Sell Me, Little Dippers, and then you've got on the B side Trendy and the Backstreet Boys. And this is EP from 1978. Right, another Leeds band, probably the most famous Leeds band, at least Leeds post-punk band, and that's Gang of Four. And this is the Loaded Remix EP. And so you've got 4 tracks on here. You've got To Hell with Poverty, the Loaded edit, and To Hell with Poverty, the original version on side A. And on side B, you've got Cheeseburger, which is a live track, and then Call Me Up, which is one of my favourites, Gang of Four tunes. And it's on the EMI label, folks. Right, again, a band, not punks, but on the Stiff label. And this is the Brilliant Madness and the Work, Rest and Play EP. And the tracks on here are Night Boat to Cairo, Deceive the Eye on side A, The Young and the Old, don't quote me on that. So it's plays at 33 and a third, as I say, it's on the Stiff record label, and it's got bespoke, get that the right way up, there we go. Now, great picture there, and there you go, that's Madness. Band from the Midlands, and this is the Photos, and this is their EP. I mean, the Photos weren't really around for all that long, but they had this hit with Irene and Barbarella's, which is on the A side of this, and Cridsilla and Shy, which are the tracks on the B side. And they were on the Epic record label. Right, Tom Robinson Band. I love Tom Robinson. This is the Rising Free EP, and much of this is recorded live. So you've got Don't Take No for an Answer, and then Martin. And Martin is a track about a young guy who idolises his brother, and he ends up stealing cars and assaulting the police and going to prison. And yeah, it was a song that sort of people loved to sort of see Tom play at his gigs. And then there's Sing If You're Glad to Be Gay and Right On Sister. So there you go, that's the Rising Free EP from the Tom Robinson Band. Oh, I'll show you the label, just the standard EMI there. Right, another bit of not punk, a bit of two-tone. There we go, the special A.K.A. live. Too Much Too Young, but you've got Too Much Too Young, first track on side A, followed by the great Guns of Another Own. Then you've got what they call Skinhead Symphony, which is Long Shot Kick the Bucket, Liquidator, and Skinhead Moonstomp. And yeah, this is fantastic live EP. There you go. There's the crowd having fun. It's a special A.K.A gig, and I'll show you the label. There you go. Two-tone. Right. What have we got? Oh, 3 more to go. Spiz Oil. Now Spiz had bands. He changed his name. He changed the name of the band just about every recording. At this point, they were called Spiz Oil, and it's basically Spiz who does the vocals and harmonies and percussion, and then Pete Petrol or Pete Petroleum, who plays all the guitars. And you've got Cold City, Red and Black, which is a really good track on here, Solarization and Platform. And there you go. It's on the Rough Trade label. You can say, and what's the year on that? 1979. So that's Spiz Oil and the Cold City 4. Right, 2 to go. Toyah, and this is 4 more from Toyah on the Safari record label. There she is. So we've got on side A, we've got Good Morning Universe, Urban Tribesman, and then on B side you've got In the Fairground and The Furious Futures. So that's Toyah, and as I say, it's on the Safari label. And finally, from Bristol, the incredible Vice Squad. This is the Resurrection EP. One of my favourite bands. They came along a little bit late. They weren't there in '77. I mean, what's this date? 1981. This, and I think this is probably their sort of second or third single. So on the A side, you've got Resurrection, and on the B side you've got Young Blood and Humane. Yeah, it's on the second recording of Riot Records, Riot 2, so it's right at the start of their career, and that's say Resurrection EP by Vice Squad from Bristol. So anyway, folks, I hope you like that. If you do, please like and subscribe, because it'll make me happy. And well done to Brian for thinking of doing this, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.